Top 10 most expensive photographs in the world. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hey there, Aluxers. Thanks for choosing to spend some time with us today in your search for more interesting facts and figures in the elite worlds of business, entertainment, and pop culture. In the past, we've given you insights into some of the most important and prominent artists in the world, along with information about the timeless masterpieces they have created over the years. But today is the turn of the genius individuals who choose to operate behind a camera lens rather than with a paintbrush in their hand. That's right. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 10 most expensive photographs ever sold at auction, a wonderful list of varied images that all have their own incredible stories to tell. If you're a fan of photography, then this list is definitely one to stay tuned for. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. Without further ado, here are the 10 most expensive photographs in the world. Number 10. The Pond, Moonlight by Edward Steichen. $2,928,000. Taken in Mamaroneck, New York in 1904, The Pond, Moonlight is a photograph by Luxembourg-American artist Edward Steichen. The image depicts a woodland scene near the home of Steichen's friend, art critic Charles Caffin. What makes this photograph so revered, you ask? It is one of the very earliest examples of a photographer applying light-sensitive gums, resulting in more than one color appearing in the final print. The image is incredibly rare, with only 3 known versions still in existence, and this rarity was confirmed in February 2006 when one of the prints was bought at auction in Sotheby's in New York for just over $2.9 million by an anonymous private collector. Number 9. Untitled Film Still, number 48, by Cindy Sherman. $2,965,000. Making her first but not last appearance on this list, in the number 9 spot is American photographer and film director Cindy Sherman. Between 1977 and 1980, Sherman produced a series of 69 black and white photographs, known as the Untitled Film Stills series. The series featured Sherman herself in a range of poses and scenarios, replicating the look of publicity film stills, but giving them a more intimate, personal twist compared to the examples found on 42nd Street that the photographer took inspiration from. The still in question, still number 48, was taken by her father and depicts Sherman in vintage clothing and a blonde wig, suitcase at her side, staring down a deserted country road. The 1979 reprint of the image came to Christie's in May of 2015 and was bought for just over $2.9 million. Number 8. Untitled, Cowboy by Richard Prince, $3,077,000. Richard Prince is another name you're going to want to keep in mind for the rest of this list, and he makes his first appearance in the number 8 slot with his complex Untitled Cowboy. Prince began as a painter in the 1970s, but quickly turned to photography and developed the controversial practice of rephotographing. This means taking a pre-existing photograph and reusing it in a new context with slight alterations. Regarded as the high point of this technique, Prince's Untitled Cowboy is said to be the ultimate deconstruction of the American dream, a copy of a photograph, which is a copy of an advertisement, which is in turn a copy of the ultimate cowboy myth. The print certainly captures a culture, and it was sold at Sotheby's, New York in June 2013 for just over $3 million. Number 7. Chicago Board of Trade 3 by Andreas Gursky. $3,298,755. Number 7 on this list kicks off a double feature for German photographer Andreas Gursky. Known for busy, intense compositions that favor high perspective angles, this shot of the chaotic Chicago Stock Exchange, taken between 1999 and 2000, is the perfect example of the trademark style that made Gursky one of the most revered and respected photographers in the world. The photograph has drawn comparisons with classical oil paintings that feature battleground scenes, with many interpreting the image as the battleground of business finance. In June 2013, Chicago Board of Trade 3 was sold at auction at Sotheby's, London, fetching the handsome sum of nearly $3.3 million. Number 6. 99 Cent to Diptych by Andreas Gursky, $3,346,456. Second in the Andreas Gursky double feature is this striking photograph, titled 99 Cent to Diptych. The 2-part composition depicts the vibrant, colorful interior of a discount supermarket and makes for a visual feast of layers and depth. once again showcasing Gursky's talent for operating at high camera angles. 99 Cent has come to be regarded as the photographer's best work. Upon the date of its sale at Sotheby's London in February 2007, the photograph became the most expensive ever sold at that point, fetching a staggering sum of $3.34 million. Of course, we can see from its middle position on the list that the figure has since been broken many times, but for a brief moment in history, Gursky's 2001 masterpiece was at the top of the pile. Now, before we go ahead and get onto the top 5 most expensive photographs ever sold, why not take a second look at another fun side of photography? Check out our video showcasing 35 rare historical pictures that prove humans have always been a little bit weird. Take a look by clicking in the top right corner. Number 5. Dead Troops Talk by Jeff Wall, $3,666,500. Kicking off the top 5 for us is Dead Troops Talk, a 1992 image by Canadian photographer Jeff Wall. Though it might look entirely realistic, the photograph was actually created using actors in a studio, assembled to reflect a scene of a Red Army ambush in Afghanistan in the winter of 1986. The image of dead soldiers rising up to converse with one another is a striking and somber one, and Wall was not afraid to showcase some gore in his art. The hard-hitting subject matter of the photograph clearly wasn't enough to put collectors off, however, as the large format print of the photograph was sold in May 2012 at Christie's, New York, for just over $3.5 million. Number 4. To Her Majesty by Gilbert and George, $3,765,276. Number 4 on this list is held by photography duo Gilbert Proesch and George Passmore, who came together to work collaboratively as Gilbert and George. Created in 1973, the work titled To Her Majesty belonged to an early collection of photographs by the duo, consisting of black and white images of scenes that commemorate drunken evenings shared by the inseparable pair. Though their art began as live performance, Gilbert and George found the act of preserving images of their experiences in time much more satisfying, and To Her Majesty is the perfect example of that. Clearly, others felt the same way too, and in June of 2008, To Her Majesty was sold for just over $3.7 million at an auction held at Christie's, London. Number 3. Untitled Number 96 by Cindy Sherman, $3,890,500. It's time to say hello once again to our friend Cindy Sherman. Cindy makes her second appearance on this list with her 1981 still image Untitled 96. Part of her Centerfold series, the photograph is one of only a few that Sherman ever produced in color, and many believe it to be one of her most accomplished pictures. Once again using herself as the subject, Sherman adopts the persona of a teenage girl, giving a disinterested gaze into the distance. Critics have said that the photograph captures the essence and emotion of what it's like to be a teenager. Wistful, ambiguous, with a hint of longing for that something that cannot be quite identified. The photograph went on sale at Christie's, New York in May of 2011 and fetched a staggering sum of nearly $3.9 million. Number 2. Spiritual America by Richard Prince, $3,973,000. Just missing out on our top spot is another work by everyone's favorite re-photographer Richard Prince, the incredibly controversial Spiritual America. What was so controversial about the photograph, you ask? Well, it might have been down to the fact that it displayed a nude 10-year-old Brooke Shields standing suggestively in a bathtub. Understandably, this image caused a lot of critics and collectors to question what the lines of decency were in the name of art, and it was actually seized by the Metropolitan Police in London when the Tate Modern Museum had announced plans to display it as a part of a pop life exhibit. Of course, in the world of art, the more controversial a work is, the more valuable it becomes, and when Spiritual America came to auction in May 2014 at Christie's, New York, it was purchased for a whopping $3.97 million. Number 1. Rhine 2 by Andreas Gursky, $4,338,500. This is it. The single most expensive photograph ever sold is Orion 2 by Andreas Gursky. Making his impressive third appearance on this top 10 list, Andreas Gursky holds the title of having taken the most expensive photograph ever sold in the form of 1999's Rhine 2, a striking landscape image depicting a calm shot of the River Rhine in Europe. The second and largest photograph in a set of 6, Gursky admitted to digitally removing unwanted details, including a factory building in the distance and dog walkers on the path, in order to achieve a more striking, clean end result. Originally required by the Galerie Monika Spruth in Cologne, Germany, the print was put up for sale at Christie's, New York in November 2001 with an estimated value of $2.5 to $3.5 million. However, by the time the hammer went down, the photograph commanded a record-breaking $4.33 million. In an attempt to avoid unwanted attention, the lucky buyer of the print has never been revealed. So, there you have it, the 10 most expensive photographs ever sold. Which print was your particular favorite? Do you value photography as an art form just as much as paintings? Let us know in the comments. And how about one final fact as a thank you for watching with us to the end? In December 2014, a photograph titled Phantom by American photographer Peter Lik was reported to have been sold privately for $6.5 million, which would have made it the most expensive photo ever sold by some distance. However, Lik's claim has been treated by experts with much skepticism, as the buyer has never been identified and no proof of the sale has ever been found. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.